Welcome to the FGA podcast. Here are your hosts, Skeet, Jericho, and Richard Longenhard. Some big shot glasses.
Well, they're big like us.
Big boys. Skeet and Dick.
That's the way God made it. God's hand, they call it.
To say I'm blessed? Maybe an understatement?
To say I'm God himself?
Maybe a bit of an overstatement. I don't know.
Yeah.
I wonder if God was hung.
No.
Maybe Jesus? Maybe Jesus?
Yeah.
Large member. A lot of women think he's hot. Good body. That's what I heard.
Da Vinci Code.
Yes. Exactly. Good show. It is Friday, December 8th, and we are back on air, finally, after a very long absence once again. We are back. I'm Skeet Jericho, sitting alongside Richard Longenhard, and yeah, we were able to get, finally, the contracts settled out.
I don't...
You didn't get yours?
That wasn't for this. That was bankruptcy. That was our bankruptcy proceedings.
I can't keep track anymore. The FGA's...
We found a phone. We found a phone. We're going to record a new broadcast here, a new podcast. We're going to get it out to you because we know you're dying to know what's going on in the FGA right now. It's been 4 months.
It's been
almost 4 months.
About 4 months.
Just 3.5 months without any news. There's been very little feedback from the FGA on social media. We did see member Connor Thompson suggest on a post of other member Ryder Stone that an investor ski trip is in the works.
Yeah, I saw that as well, and of course we follow all of the members on Instagram. But I will tell you this: they don't follow us back.
No, and that's actually starting to become a problem for me.
Well,
we're promoting you in your league, and you're spitting in my eye, so to speak. No, actually, one of them did at the bar. Remember?
Well, they called you some appalling slurs as well.
Yeah. We tried to sneak the phone and get in the interview.
We had to get the interview, yeah. So either way, things have taken this has taken a bit of a backseat, but we're glad to be back on air. The Open Championship happened in August, and Connor Thompson won that, but we'll get into that. But first off, we want to say that this is a very special edition of the FGA podcast, as Dick and I will be doing the first annual FGA Power Hour podcast. So it was something, of course, I went to Harvard, and I saw it multiple times done in frats. Of course, I was not in a frat. I wasn't allowed, but through Facebook and videos such as that, I was actually able to learn about what a power hour is, and my friends and I, we were able to enjoy and indulge in some beverages throughout my Harvard years. So it was a lot of fun. You know, surprisingly, Joel, at Harvard bred the creator of Facebook, Mike Zuckerkorn.
I did read that in the Daily News.
What? That's not a real thing.
It is. Peter Parker.
Oh, that's Superman. So power hour time. Let's get going. I think we're really excited. It's just gonna be a lot of fun. We're gonna really let the kind of the chains off of the conversation.
And actually, I'm gonna jump in here. We're gonna ask the viewers right now whether we should do a music power hour or a stopwatch power hour. So go ahead and get your calls in now.
Calls in, and we'll see. Should be one coming in pretty quick here.
Switchboard should be lighting up like a Christmas tree here, and it's almost
Christmas. December.
Interesting.
Very exciting.
Went there in my mind.
Still no calls though.
No calls.
Again, you can call our number 403-373-7373. Okay, so I
think for the recording's sake, we'll do stopwatch.
We can do stopwatch. That works for me. We don't have to. The music might convolute things a bit.
In our opinions, and our analysis, and our expertise is probably what the people are looking for at this point.
Yeah, we have a lot of listeners.
Okay, begin. I began it. It started.
Okay, so I mean, we may as well pour our first drink. We're pouring them into pretty large shot glasses.
Because, sometimes you gotta live large.
That's what we do here at the FGA podcast. My goodness, these are very large shot glasses.
This is...
Either way, Open Championship, August 19th, I believe it happened, and it was the first annual Open Championship at Crystal Ridge Golf Course in Okotoks, and Connor Thompson victorious in what actually to me was a very riveting tournament to watch. I thought Thompson's length that we discussed in the preview was going to be important, and he stepped up and drove the ball beautifully and really stepped up. And
don't know why I drank that.
I saw you drinking, and I was like, well, we're still 4 seconds, but actually, yes, here we go, the first drink. And you can keep track at home if we're doing this correctly, but I know we are. Straight from the brewery itself.
All right, it begins again right away.
We're actually drinking the official beer of the FGA, Bud Light Lime. And we really hope that everybody's enjoying some Bud Light Limes. It is a Friday, and we want everyone to enjoy their Friday while they're listening to this. And but yeah, back to the Open Championship. Thompson was, in my view, I thought he was elite. Dick.
Well, what can you say? It was over early. People were playing for points, of course, but Thompson had the 30 locked up fairly early, and man, it's tough. Those are tough courses to recoup points on, and the shots weren't made by really any of the other competitors. We saw when we looked at. Oh no, my God! I'm sorry. It ran out of time. We're doing another shot. It was what I was saying. We saw when we looked at the scorecards, there really was a driving force behind why, particularly Jonah, Brownhosian, and Pickering were lacking and did not get that first place. Coleman all really wasn't in the running for Crocodile Cup. He was going in without really any expectations, and he didn't actually participate. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, it was.
I gotta hold my tongue. It was an amateur.
First amateur.
Taylor McNeil. That's correct. Anyways, going in, Jonah's, Brownhosian's tee or partner placements on the holes were going to play a big factor, and he arranged himself nicely, but he wasn't able to execute. We saw when we looked at the scorecards that Jonah's round was definitely lacking, and you could see consistently with each partner, each score would drop. However, Thompson was able to battle. We'll do another shot.
Another shot here.
Continue.
Oh, yes. Very good. But yeah, no, I completely agree with you. I thought there was, of course, Brownhosian going into the Open had won 2 major championships in a row at the McCall Masters and the Lakeview Classic, and was feeling good. You got to pick who his partners were going to be for each hole, or the rotation at least, and he was in the driver's seat to win the Crocodile Cup, but it just wasn't meant to be that day. And Thompson played really well at Lakeview, and he was in that course. It favors his game the most out of them. So,
Dick or Skeet, can you answer me this? There was a hole where Thompson hit over the. He looked to want to hit over the water. It's a dog leg left.
Yeah.
He thought he lost the ball.
Yes.
He thought he lost the ball.
That was 5.
Yeah, he thought he lost. This was a turning point. This is a major turning point. He had a little bit of an advantage. We'll do a shot.
We got another shot here, guys.
He had a major advantage. Well, a minor advantage for 4 holes. And after missing that shot, we thought maybe the tides could turn in some direction. But the foursome gets up the hole. Thompson actually finds his ball in an excellent position.
It's position A, really. Green light special, and he must have corked it because the way it was fading, because we were behind the players on 5, behind the tee box, and the way it looked, he started left and it faded. So we're like, well, there's no way that clears the water. That's just too left. But somehow it must have straightened out along the way, and it was he was about 60 yards out, and it was a 300 plus yard drive.
And what's interesting about that is he had Pickering as a partner, who was obviously trying to nip at his heels, who actually did hit a decent tee shot in playable,
fine position,
very playable, not with the length. He played a safer shot,
120
straight
yards
down,
maybe.
Yeah, straight down the fairway.
We got another shot here.
What was important about that was that Thompson, even if he doesn't hit that shot, if he takes where the Pickering ball was, he is shooting from a position of relative power. So that's halfway through the course. That's just over halfway through the course. He's trying to, close the door, especially when McNeil, who was the closest, who was in second place at that point, was with Brown Hosian, who had struggled during the day and would continue to struggle during the day. Everyone has those days. But they end up double bogeying, I believe, that hole.
Well, they got into they lost both their tee shots. Their second shots went over the green, that would have been their third shots with the penalty over the green. They couldn't. Finally, they did find it. Flubbed their first chip. Brown Hosian actually hit a sublime second chip to within a few feet, but at that point, it's tough.
The thing is, they actually were able to survive not getting a double par there, but Thompson won that hole.
And with already
very important.
Already at a big lead.
Very
there too.
important for him to distance himself even further.
There was another shot there for Dick and I.
We took another shot there.
And I am almost a beer gone, actually. I will be after this.
I am now a beer gone.
Yep. Wow, that was a quick beer. And we apologize to the listeners if the words start to slur a bit, but we're having a good time. This will become an annual thing. But back to the golf itself. Yeah, that could have been a big turning point. If that ball isn't found, an 120-yard shot, Thompson has been public before about saying it's not a great yardage for him. He doesn't like his 52-degree wedge, and that's the club that he uses from that distance. So who knows what may have transpired if, in fact, that ball isn't found. But it is, and as they say, the rest is history. But we talked about the first ever amateur to play on the FGA circuit, and Taylor McNeil. A big shout-out to Taylor. I thought he was fantastic. He stepped in, hit some great drives, he hit a good couple chips, but had some problems on the green, and that's where actually Shooter wrote in his power rankings, that's what could hold McNeil back, were short putts, and those ended up being the problem. And we will take another shot now, as we are now officially done the first beer. Let's just take a shot.
Oh, I would agree. McNeil was in, he was in it until about 8, I'd say.
And then even 8, Pickering.
Even 8. Even on 8, it was pretty well. He was mathematically still in it.
Yeah.
But it's pretty well sealed. And then on 9, sure, of course, again, he's technically mathematically still in it.
Yeah.
But it would take
a collapse action on the other side.
Collapse on the other side. And whenever you're relying on a collapse on the other side, you're in a little bit of trouble. Yeah,
and to 9, still mathematically in it was McNeil, but I thought Thompson stepped up and hit.
That's the hole that would benefit Thompson the most.
Yeah, that's the one he was counting on, the par 5. And
as soon as you get to 9, you have to be leading in that. We talked about that. We talked about how you had to be leading going into 9 to have a chance to beat Thompson on this course. It's just too long. It's just too long.
Yeah.
There is not enough short game play. There's not enough wedges off the tee.
Yeah.
That we knew that's how it was going to shape up, and that's how it did.
And there were 2 drives that were actually 3 drives of Tom's. Well, he drove the ball beautifully. That was maybe the best I've seen him drive the ball in a while. And with the 2, he drove the fringe on number 2, that par 4. He was teamed with Pickering, and they ended up walking away with a par. I'm sure they were very unhappy about that.
Fairly regretful. I did talk with both of them after the match.
Yeah.
We'll take a shot here.
We got a shot here. Oh, wow, these are big shot glasses.
Not good.
And Dick has switched over to the Keystone Light. Actually, Keystone Light was bred in Sweden.
We can't say. We can't say that name. We can't say it's copyrighted.
Stone Key.
Stone Key.
The beer that Mr. Longenhard is drinking was founded in Sweden, his native country.
We'll get the guys to edit that out.
We'll bleep it.
They'll edit it. We got guys for that.
I doubt that very much. Either way, the Open, the driver for Thompson was probably what won him the championship.
Oh,
and
it certainly did. And there's nothing wrong with that.
No, and I think it's a good thing for the other members to maybe take a look and get their drivers going a bit, because the length is important on a course like that.
And that is why.
We'll take another shot here.
That is why the commissioners ended up including Crystal Ridge, was because it's still a 9-hole course, and it's still a low-scoring course. It's a short course for the most part, right?
Yep.
So it still falls within the same general theme of the league.
Yep.
However, it had a different element.
Yes. Oh, I completely agree.
Than the other 2. Lakeview obviously has its 2 par 4s, but McCall, feels a little bit shorter than Lakeview does.
Way shorter, yeah.
Am I wrong?
I'd say I'd feel way shorter.
It was only par 3s as well.
Only par 3s. There's 3 par 4s on Lakeview, and then there's none on.
Exactly. That's the thing. So they wanted that sort of breakup. So what happened was we went from shortest to medium to longest, and that's the way it was organized. That was the way that the commissioners did this, and it's for a purpose. It's to make sure that the courses get what should be harder.
Yeah, exactly. As the season goes on, exactly. That's it. I think the co-commissioners did a great job on that. We're just going to take another shot here. But yeah, I think you're exactly right. This major championship circuit was set up beautifully by the co-commissioners. It tested the players. It tested every aspect of the players' games throughout the season.
Well, you know what? Let me ask you this question before we move on. We continue this conversation. So it's the first official FGA season in the books.
Yep.
Success or unsuccessful?
Oh, I'd say ultra successful. I thought you look at what transpired. There wasn't a Triple Crown winner in the first year. I thought it showed parity within the association. I thought all the members showed up and played their hearts out every single game, every single major. I think it's ultra successful, and I think this is a great a springboard for the FGA to really start building and really become the association I think the co-commissioners have in mind. What did you think, Dick? Do you think it was successful?
I'll take my shot here, and then
yes,
I will.
Same as well.
Well, I would absolutely agree that it was successful. I don't think there's many people that could really say it was unsuccessful, but there are obviously a few kinks that need to be worked out during the winter meetings. But it's the inaugural season. There's gonna be kinks, but for the most part, the format, the end of season dinner.
Yes, terrific.
Everything was just a fantastically put on and well planned.
Yeah.
My view is that this upcoming year they need to ratify the away tournament, because the away tournament was actually a lot of fun, but to only see 2 members actually participate, disappointing. That's disappointing.
Yeah.
But you know what?
There was an investigation and everything.
There was an investigation. Players were cleared. Some of them.
I still don't believe in the clearance, but I think the co-commissioners were a little light there.
One more shot here. Where I see it moving forward is the growth. There needs to be growth.
Yep. And I think if you're not growing, you're dying. It's a classic business adage.
But here's what I'll place a caveat on that is there are many forms of growth for this young league.
Yep.
There are, potential member growth, which co-commissioners
Tread lightly.
have what they've said and what they've written into the CBA. That's somewhere where they're a bit hesitant to. They don't want to push that because they want this to remain exclusive to a degree.
Yeah. And these five, they're close friends, and they have been for a long time. So I think the membership is something that truly is a very special thing. So yeah, we'll see. But
on the same end, I don't think the co-commissioners are opposed to having members who potentially aren't friends with all five of those main members. There is growth. They want growth. They want growth, but they need to be careful. We're going to take our
shot here.
Other potential avenues of growth that you see besides new members?
Well, I think one of the more just as an outside an onlooker, I do think the addition of a tournament that is away from the Calgary area or the Okotoks area, an away tournament, I think it would look good. I think courses are different geographically, and I think you move places, you're going to see different tests. You're going to see different types of golf courses. So, and that would just be a treat for everyone to watch. We already enjoy the three majors as it is. We'd love to see these guys compete again in another event. So that would be my biggest amendment. But for the most part, honestly, this was a lot of fun. This season was terrific to cover, and really, really pleased to be a part of the FGA's family. And
as we take another shot,
but I do need my contract figured out. If we didn't, I thought we figured it out, but
I think that there are certainly. I really do think the co-commissioners are going to look at the scoring.
Yeah.
I don't think they saw as much. I don't think they saw enough dynamic scoring. I think that they're a little bit displeased with the way things went out, where people really just won based on how many tournaments they won.
Yep.
Which isn't a problem, but we want to. I really do think, and from everything that I've heard with my talks with these co-commissioners, is they want to see the ability for players who aren't winning those tournaments to still be in it, but also to be rewarded for gains and be rewarded for good shots or good plays.
Yeah,
we'll take another shot here.
That's beer two. Done.
I have one more on beer two, so I'm not sure.
I'm going quick. My goodness.
As I was saying, they're looking for more incentive, I think.
Yeah, and I think the scoring that's just an ongoing process.
I completely agree.
That's hard to get right.
And it has to be adapted, and I honestly think that they're going to have to adapt it just about every year, based on the previous year. They're going to have to look at, all right, did these players get better? Because if they got better, we're going to have to change the scoring.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's the hope as well, the co-commissioners, that everyone...
And I don't think the co-commissioners have any problem with having to do something like that.
That's a small problem. If they have a problem with that,
but that again goes back to the growth. They want to see that. They're going to have to look at this year's scoring, and they're going to have to look at what the final standings looked like, and if it was even close in some aspects. And they're going to have to really wonder if they can take a step forward, or if they might, because it's the first year.
Yeah,
if their expectations were too high.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, I would not be surprised if they would have to reevaluate and take a step back in order for long-term success. What do you think?
To me,
I know we did have a discussion at the end of the season. Sorry to cut you off here, but we did have a discussion that there were a couple little flaws where, we got a little overzealous.
Yeah.
The league got a little overzealous, possibly.
We got a shot.
Yeah, we do.
That's our bad, but. I think it's impossible not to get, as you said, overzealous with things. I think everybody was kind of swept away with the FGA mania. I think everybody, as association, gets the people going. So it's hard not to get overexcited and exuberant with the association itself, but I see the commissioners constantly changing things. I think these are two guys, with my conversations with them over the past few months, they're trying to make something special here, and I think they're on the right track. I think this season, when you look at inaugural seasons, this was really good. I think they did a great job, and I truly don't have complaints. Yeah, sure, there's going to be problems, and as we said that, but it's gonna get fixed, and I think they did a great job the first year, but. We'll see, and we have
a shot.
We have another shot. Holy mackerel! As the power hours, at my time at Harvard, there were some crazy times in my dorm room, and
I thought you went to Harvard South.
Nope. No, I didn't. You know this. I didn't graduate from Harvard. I did go to Harvard. I just didn't. It was 2 years. I did the Zuckerkorn thing.
No, I think you just went on a tour. I think you just went to the campus.
I stayed in Johnston Hall. Room 512B.
No, that's not.
Look it up. My roommate was Chris Jenkins.
No, that's not right. I won't even look it up.
Varsity water polo player.
Oh, boy.
I don't like water polo, but he was very good apparently. Never watched the game. Told him I'd go, but... Oh, I didn't take my shot.
You're a varsity.
Varsity what? I'm varsity...
I said you're a varsity.
Okay. Couldn't say it the first time. 8 on my face. I think we have another shot, don't we?
1 second and
we
now
got another shot. Oh my God.
Oh boy.
Oh my.
Yeah, really got mad at us that time.
Yeah, no, I didn't like it. Wow. Getting a little more difficult at this point, but the FGA, let's take a look.
They're hitting me.
They're hitting me. I'm buzzed. And I did go to Harvard.
Let me get I'm going to ask you a question here.
Okay.
What do you think? Well, we know that there was a member this year that abstained from competition. Ryder Stone.
Only player never to win the major.
Only player to never win a major. Sergio Garcia won one this year. He was often considered the PGA member.
Best player never to win a major, and that's Ryder Stone. That's Ryder Stone's role in the FGA.
He's also the only player, so
yes.
Kind of just melds into that. But, however, do you think we see Ryder Stone this year?
I do. I think, a funny part of this, actually, we do have a shot coming up in 8 seconds, so I'll get into this great story of Ryder before, but here we go. Here's a shot. Yes, wow, that was actually refreshing, that one. I was getting thirsty. But, I asked Ryder to come on the show with us today because I do want to, get an idea of what his schedule looks like for the upcoming FGA season, and if he will be able to compete. Of course, he got the extended medical absence from the co-commissioners, so interesting enough, there's been some rumors. Of course, the Shooter McGavin article came out about the possible steroid usage and the strict drug testing from the FGA, but I don't buy into that at all. I think Ryder Stone's a terrific individual, but in saying that, it will be interesting to see what his schedule looks like. When I asked him to come on the show, he said, I go to Dartmouth. And personally, yeah, of course it hurt a bit, but I can't blame the guy. And we have another shot here.
About 5 seconds.
5 seconds, going to pour it. But he's a good guy, and I think he was just in a tough spot at that. Well, maybe not. But either way, I think we see. Also, I do think we see him win a major pretty soon here.
Oh, I'd just love to see him come out and compete. We know he can hammer the ball. You gotta.
Think he has a hammer?
I'm not going to answer that question. Do you?
I asked first.
I asked second. Right?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
After long deliberation, yeah.
He probably does. He really, honestly, probably has got something all of us dream of.
But he does have a major championship, and that's what we're talking about here today. Ryder Stone. But that major's coming soon. We have another shot, Joel.
Oh, boy.
Holy. These are flying in quick. I don't like burping on air to our listeners. My goodness. Okay, just give me a second.
Some women.
Okay. So, yeah, the Open Championship happens. Thompson wins. Terrific. Let's look at the Crocodile Cup final standings. Of course, Jonah Brown-Hosian went in to the Open Championship with the lead, a 30-point lead, but was unable to close it out. So Thompson, with the Open Championship, took the Crocodile Cup with a number of 238 points, coming in second place, winning that
appalling.
It's just an appalling.
You don't want to win second.
You either want first or third. You don't want second. Jonah Brown-Hosian, of course, gets that second place position with 194 points.
He better still have that trophy.
If he doesn't have the trophy, boy, I think the co-commissioners.
There's repercussions. There has to be repercussions.
There has to be, and that might be another.
But that's the thing. Any trophy, even the jackets. The jackets were beautiful.
Oh man, were those well done? Were those well done by the FGA?
Any of the trophies, jackets, anything. If that
Cup, the jackets.
If those are lost,
Open trophy,
there have to be repercussions.
And there should be. We have another shot here, guys. Third place, Joel Pickering coming in at 165 points. Cole Medall, who competed in the McCall Masters and the Lakeview Classic, comes in with 96 points. And Ryder Stone, of course, with his medical exemption, 0 points this season. He did not compete. Taylor McNeil, the amateur, actually did come in second place in the Open Championship, which was a phenomenal showing from McNeil. I was really pumped up about that. I thought it was great that an amateur could compete the way he did, and it's always fun to see an underdog step up and play like that. So that was great.
And even more so, even beyond how well he played, you could tell the other members were having fun. Oh, yeah. And he wasn't detracting from. He was being competitive on the course, but also he showed that spirit the FGA really embodies. That camaraderie, right? There's competitiveness with camaraderie, and it's a tough thing to achieve. I know Thompson actually struggles with it sometimes.
Oh yeah, we've seen the temper come out big time on the course.
Him losing the McCall Masters was
it took a toll on him.
He had a little bit of a tantrum.
And,
And you know what? That's competitive, though. That is competitive, and he's letting his competitiveness, get over top of his camaraderie.
It was too much, though.
Which is fine as well.
We got a shot here.
Which can happen, but the FGA is all about balancing those things, right? And back to our main point, Taylor McNeil did a very, very good job of doing that. He gave me a couple comments that, maybe he rubbed the members a little bit the wrong way.
Especially in his first time.
He's being an amateur. He's trying to make a good impression. Apparently he tried to pay off one of the members in the
on 9
to throw it.
That's not going to sit well. That won't sit well at all with the co-commissioners. If that is true, there will be an investigation, of course.
That's not going to help his potential membership.
No. So if there's an investigation on an amateur, boy, that's not a good starting point. But
especially when he goes in front of the board, which is the co-commissioners, and he tries to explain that. Yeah. Because that's what you need to do. The board's going to ask you questions. They're going to ask you questions, and you have to have a good answer for all of them. We're going to take a shot here.
Another shot here, guys. Oh.
That's the official part of becoming a member. Is you're going to be asked a series of questions, and those can be anything. Those can be anything from the co-commissioners, and they will also select a third board member to be with them, and it's often the most convenient, whoever's available at the time. But it's going to be one of those 5 forever.
Exactly.
To make sure that there is a majority, and it has to be not majority, it has to be unanimous
Unanimous.
amongst those three for them to move on to the next stage. But those questions are certainly going to be surrounding the alleged bribery scandal.
Oh boy, and that's not pretty. That just doesn't look good. It doesn't look good on the individual, and it also doesn't look good on the FGA. If it is true, of course, I won't say anything's true until it's proven true. But if so, good for Jonah Brown-Hosian. Yeah, that was who the alleged bribe was to, and Brown-Hosian had none of it. So good for him, and that just shows a good FGA member, and one that. Of course, and he's a two-time major. Is he two-time or three-time major champion now? He's he's three-time major champion. McCall Masters.
Brown-Hosian?
He's won two Lakeview Classics and one a McCall Masters. Yep. Wow.
The first year at the Lakeview Classic.
This year's McCall and Lakeview. Yeah.
Yep.
Wow. We have another shot. I think this is this timer's extra speed. This feels way faster than what we did at Harvard. I can't keep up.
Harvard of the South, I believe is what he went to.
To me, I hear jealousy. That's what I hear. Yeah. So we will. Actually, let's talk about the year-end awards. FGA year-end awards voted on by the members who competed this year. The Jonah Brown-Hosian Award for Best Teammate this year, Joel Pickering took it. A big win for also the FGA Fantasy Player of the Year, as Pickering was able to win that as well.
That was sweat.
That was sickening. Poor Bobby Weeks, a TSN golf analyst. To show you how hard it is, Bobby Weeks had an abysmal season, and Pickering just dominated. So congrats to him on winning the Best Teammate Award, the Jonah Brown-Hosian Award, and the FGA Fantasy Player of the Year. And we have another shot before we get into more. This is beer 4.
I feel awful.
And it's 7:53 p.m. And I'm in trouble reading the old screen. Anyways, the Ron Burgundy Award for Most Improved, Jonah Brown-Hosian, the two major championships this season.
He actually
fully deserved.
Fully deserved. He did actually throw a little bit of a wrench in his own tires during the final major of the season. There were potentially some doubts in his improvement.
Yep.
Am I wrong?
No, but I think when you look at Brown-Hosian as a player,
he didn't strike the ball well.
No, he's not a good ball striker. His strength is putting. And
well, the problem I had was, at least during the Lakeview and McCall, he was hitting, I'd say 50% of his balls, at least, maybe not perfect,
decent enough to put him in
solid.
Position. Yeah.
Solid.
Yeah.
We get to the Open, and
he crumbled.
He crumbled. It wasn't there at all.
But I think the length got to him. I think he got in his head a bit.
But
we got a shot here.
But again, okay, we have a shot. Still, if we're looking in terms of improvement amongst all the players, it's obvious he was, because of his first two majors.
Yep.
His third major hurt him more than anything.
Yep.
But because of how impressive his first two majors are and how well he struck the ball, how well he...
It's impossible not to vote for him.
It's impossible not to vote for him. Sorry, he was just already especially at such a low point after losing the Lakeview Classic the year before.
He came in motivated.
Exactly.
He came in motivated, and I saw firsthand when Darcy Ranch is where a lot of the members practice in Okotoks. Brown-Hosian was there more than anybody. He practiced his butt off, and it was really good to see him get rewarded for that. I really like to see when players get rewarded for the work that they put in. And obviously, he also put in some work into the gym in the offseason. I thought Brown-Hosian looked better. He just looked better in every sense of the word for golf and just for health.
Confident.
Confidence was a huge thing for Brown-Hosian.
We'll take a shot.
And some of those, we have another shot. But Brown-Hosian, terrific year, fully deserved Most Improved Player of the Award, which is the Ron Burgundy Award. First winner of that award, actually.
Do you have... Okay, well, this is what we should do here. So if we're going to go from the beginning one... So we'll go from Jonah Brown-Hosian Award, Best Teammate. We'll go predictions, possibly. This is very early.
Yes.
We're going to do a more a better version of this closer to the season, but we'll do a very early pre-winter meetings version of our predictions.
Which we will be at. We will be reporting on that as well. So that's exciting.
Well, yes, we will. So the Crocodile Cup. What do you think? Who do you think? Early prediction. Keep in mind we're going to amend the away tournament.
Yeah.
Sure, it's only worth half the points.
And
you know what? That's not amended yet. We actually do need to figure out
if the co-commissioners will accept that.
Well, not only if they'll accept that, or if it's going to be worth more points than that. Because it could be.
Yeah.
It could be worth more points than because it is important. We want people to be invested in that.
Yeah.
Right? This league wants the members to go to this tournament, so they might as well make it worth their while.
That's an interesting thing the co-commissioners have to look at. We have another shot here. This will be the end of beer 4 for me.
But anyways, that's what I'm trying to say here is
that throws a wrench into things.
Before any amendments, before just like, you know, what is your prediction going through your head of any changes? Because I'm sure there will be scoring changes.
Yep.
Maybe slight, maybe major.
We'll see.
We'll see. They're going to have to. We don't know. This is very, very, very closed door.
So yeah.
But the potential for the away tournament being worth something at least this year. It wasn't worth anything last year,
which is fair.
Because it was a little bit short-sighted. But who do you pick? Who do you think?
Well,
if we add that extra tournament, that's another. Dragons had Edmonton last year. I believe they will be going back there again.
Terrific FGA venue. We have another shot, by the way, guys.
Start that one.
And okay, so let me talk through it then.
Take the shot.
Here's my walkthrough of what I think is going to happen with the Crocodile Cup. I'll tell you right now, my pick, Connor Thompson. Here's the reasons why. McCall Masters, I don't see him winning that. I see him getting beat again. The fact that Pickering and Brown Hosian have an exemption, who knows? Thompson might even be playing in the McCall Masters this year if all 5 are available.
Very true.
But even if he is playing, I don't see him winning.
If the co-commissioners admit another member.
Well, exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
Because they did have an amateur last year, which means Taylor McNeil he's eligible. He's eligible.
Yeah. So to me, I don't see Thompson winning the McCall Masters. That course just is complete opposite of what he does as a player. Here is another shot. So sorry to the listeners. Oh my goodness. All right. Woo. But then I go to Lakeview. I'm starting to think Thompson's figured that course out a bit. I do think the club selections, he's really happy with his irons. His putting's improved a lot. I think Lakeview's a decent spot for him now. I think he feels comfortable there.
But here's my question for Lakeview is the teams won't be the same.
That's true.
Just because I believe the way the co-commissioners are trying to set this up is just because the winners were on a team together does not necessarily guarantee them a spot together the next year.
They're just exempted into playing.
Exactly.
Okay. Yeah. So we'll see.
Thompson may not get Brown Hosian,
which he's very comfortable. He's very comfortable with Brown Hosian.
Brown Hosian is obviously very
comfortable with Thompson.
He's won it twice.
Exactly. So well, that's interesting too. We got another shot.
He could get anyone. He could get anyone at that course.
Another shot.
So yes, I believe. Yes, I believe Thompson is. Those kids. Yes, I believe Thompson has actually become very comfortable with Lakeview, despite his words the beginning of this year, the beginning of this year regarding his distaste for that course.
Yeah.
But oh wow, didn't restart it.
No, sorry, that's our bad.
I didn't reset the timer. It honestly could have been 15 seconds ago. I couldn't tell you.
Oh boy,
I couldn't tell you.
The beers are hitting me.
So we're gonna both take another one.
Oh, we're gonna take another one. Here we go, boys.
That's my bad, and we'll cheers.
Cheers to the FGA as well for paying us peanuts.
Okay, we'll start the timer once more.
All right, but yeah, okay. I still see him winning. I think Thompson's found a little bit of a home in Lakeview. And the Open, personally, the way he drove the ball there this year, that was something. I think it's going to be hard for this year still. I think it's going to be hard for someone to beat him at the Open.
I would agree. I want to play devil's advocate because I have to.
Exactly.
Because I have to. This is the only, like, if I just agree with you, no one's going to listen to us. But so I think you're correct at McCall. I think it's so anti Thompson that
he hates it.
That I think as long as you can get two people with a decent short game and
it's tough.
And with one of them able to hit it off the tee 80% of the time, I think you're able to beat Thompson there, and that's, you know what, that's why the FGA was designed. We'll take a shot and
here, guys.
I didn't have any beer in there, and I took the shot. So
He still took the shot. So of course Dick feeling it a little bit here.
Anyways, move on to the Lakeview Classic. Thompson is definitely found some comfort in that course.
I think him and Brownhosian both.
But here's the problem: we don't know if he's going to be with Brownhosian. Because while they've both been guaranteed spots next year, they haven't been guaranteed spots together.
Yeah.
My question is, does he get someone who has an off day? Lakeview is a course that, you know what, he's going to hit well in the first two holes. You got to take advantage of those if he's going to have success. He has to take advantage of those wells. He has to hit long, and he has to go right at the hole. You know, you haven't seen that.
No, and I think that's a problem.
If his opponents can take advantage of that early, I think playing from behind, Thompson will have a very difficult time.
Yeah, me too.
You know, I'm just trying to play devil's advocate.
Oh, I agree with that 100%.
But
we got another shot here, guys.
Here.
Oh my. Just got a burp here.
Jesus. Okay.
Holy mackerel.
Anyways, I think, well, you saw not this year prior, but the year prior to that, Thompson was beat there.
Yeah, beat. He didn't look comfortable at all. And a lot of it was because he didn't have a lead.
He never had a lead.
It was constantly coming back.
He lost the first hole.
Yep.
Tied.
Because he drove the green on two, like the rough.
Two, and then
those
Medal
preceding 7 holes are tough. They're tough for him.
It became 2-1.
Yeah.
I believe 3-1.
Like you guys, and then it came down to 9. That's
3-2,
what I remember.
3-2. It came down to you being able to tie on 9, I believe.
No. It was winner take. Or was it? Was it a tie?
It came down to Thompson and Brownhosian. Yep, we have a shot. Being able to force a tie on 9.
Yep.
The year prior, it came down to a Roger Stone and Joel Pickering had to win. Had to win 8. They lost 8.
Yeah.
So 9 was useless. The next year, Medal, Pickering were up on 9 by 1. Like, if they would have won that hole, obviously it's over. Tie that hole, it's over. But Thompson, Brownhosian had to win that hole to tie. Thompson flubbed. He did.
Yeah, he flubbed. There's no question about that whatsoever. And actually, we saw the same thing with McCall Masters. He had to win 9. Hits an appalling tee shot into the water. Awful tee shot into the water. So now you question, where's Thompson's mindset?
He went aggressive, and it failed him.
It failed. So is Thompson able? Does Thompson have that ability to get it done when it comes down to clutch moments? We haven't seen it yet. We've seen him 0 for 2 in those situations.
I would disagree. I would say that he faced.
We got a shot here.
He faced 4 or 5. He faced 4 or 5 clutch moments within the Open.
But not with pressure on.
I honestly think that the pressure of the Open. I think the fact that he was playing from behind and he was playing in a position of he was trying to win with 3 different people.
Yeah.
Every
and he
hole,
had to win the Crocodile Cup.
Every hole.
Yeah.
I think that is an indicator that he can play under pressure. But it's only when the course suits him.
And he's a very picky player. I completely agree with that. So after all of this, my pick still to win the Crocodile Cup is Thompson. But I'm saying
that's an early pick. This
guy's beatable.
That is barring significant strides from. I think the two closest to him are Pickering, and I think it's Brown Hosian.
Yeah, I would love.
I mean, we haven't seen Stone in over a year, so
it's tough to get a read on him.
Tough to get a read on him,
but I would love to see one of them get the job done. I think it would be so good for the FGA if one of those guys were able to step up and win the Crocodile Cup.
And the thing is, I think there are some tweaks that are going to be made by the co-commissioners that make the Crocodile Cup points, because we saw the Crocodile Cup points. We'll take a shot here.
Yeah, we'll take one more shot here. Actually, not one more. That's got to be left.
Well, we saw the Crocodile Cup points. They weren't actually that close. No. For how close it was going into the Open.
So now
So what I think what happens is the co-commissioners take a really long hard look, because if this league isn't competitive, if this league isn't tightly contested until the end, it's going to fail.
So this begs me the question, and a course where Thompson's length off the tee, like the Open Championship, is so crucial,
coveted,
is there a scoring method which allows the other guys to, maybe stick within the realm of Thompson? And that, because, to me, I looked at it, the drives, it won him it. He wasn't good putting, he wasn't good chipping. He was just ahead of them by so much off the tee,
and
that it was hard.
He was playable.
Yeah,
that's
true as well.
I can tell you right now, I think that is the.
Got another shot here. I think that was 30 seconds.
We saw Pickering, we saw McNeil, and we saw Brown Hosian hit decent to good chip and putts. We saw that. The problem they had, all three of them, was playable balls.
Yeah.
Thompson just had more.
You know what's a great example of that? Hole 4. After the par 3, it's a dog-leg right. Pickering, Brown Hosian were
left.
Completely left. And they took 4 shots before they were even...
There's a bunker left, which is just sadistic in my mind.
It's not a good hole. It's not a good hole. And then Thompson pipes a drive over the trees. But right there, that's an example. That's a perfect example of the Open suiting Thompson's game a little more.
Which he needs to be careful, because there's houses to the right.
Oh,
there
Christ.
is. But he's confident in that club. And
he's
confident that he's going to be... He's confident. If he can hit driver...
It's tough to beat. It's his club.
So you're right. Is there a scoring change that can be made to keep this closer?
That's not our call. It's a co-commissioner.
That's the co-commissioner's call, and I think yes.
Oh, I think there is. I think there's always a solution to those things. We got another shot here. But
I also heard a strange rumor. I heard a rumor about points being given for certain shots and certain scores.
Like they are now.
Right there now. Yep. But being given a multiplier.
Oh, that's a...
Based on
the players.
Based on
past season?
Past season.
Wow. Well, that would change things a lot.
Because not only does this encourage improvement based on individual players, this also keeps it potentially competitive.
Yeah, that keeps the Crocodile Cup standings a little closer. That'll be interesting to see what the co-commissioner's thoughts are on that.
I heard a little rumble. And I honestly I think of that, and I just think that if that's done right. And that's a huge...
That's a massive amendment. Now the tough thing is, what's the multiplier? We got another shot here.
Exactly. And if that isn't done right, then it's useless.
Mm-hmm. Well, that would add another wrench into things. Okay, let's move on. So I'm not going to go any more into this. My pick for the Crocodile Cup next year, still Connor Thompson. Just if based on the current CBA and the major circuit as it is, my pick still is Thompson to defend the Crocodile Cup trophy. What's your pick?
Without
any amendments to the CBA, just the way it is right now.
with the CBA the way it is right now, and without major dedication.
Yeah.
And you know what? Even like a mediocre dedication, because I think with a mediocre dedication, it could be a toss-up.
Oh, absolutely.
Because of the first two courses.
The first two courses are not Thompson.
And because of about half of the Open.
Yeah, exactly.
And you know what? Just half of the Open is all you need.
Exactly.
It's all you need.
Yeah.
So, and I think without even that mediocre dedication, it's Thompson's to lose. But if we see some marked improvement from a couple of players, particularly Pickering and Brownhosian, if Brownhosian can find some consistency with striking the ball, oh man, can that kid, he can win this league 3 years in a row without anyone figuring out why.
Exactly. And yeah, exactly. That I think that's a great way to put it. How did that happen? And it's because he's able to fit the FGA circuit in such a way that it allows him to be that elite.
He becomes the dark horse on the first two courses.
Yeah. Whoever he's with, he's
he won
helpful.
the first two courses this year because there's this rivalry between Pickering and Thompson.
Yeah.
They're going to select their extra player.
Do you sense sexual tension between those two?
I heard they bang.
I don't. We got another shot. I don't know about I need another shot after hearing that, but I don't know. We'll see.
No, one of them.
Okay. We got another shot in 40 seconds. I'm going to need it after hearing that.
I'm going to take it now.
This is... have you ever thought about the name Richard Longenhard, listeners? Just
you know what? You shut up, Skeet. You shut up.
Okay. Okay. Let's move on to prediction for this one. Who's going to win the Jonah Brownhosian Award for best teammate? What's your view? Right now, flat out counting out Thompson. I've seen him be abusive on the course. I'm counting out Pickering too. I think he's also very similar in that regard. I don't know how. I don't know who voted.
Well, oh, God. We take another shot with that sound.
Yeah.
We saw Pickering have his dull moments, but I mean, he won the McCall Masters for a reason, and Brown was going to be the first person to mention how their rally was, a combined effort.
Yeah.
They needed to make sure that they both hit those shots that were so important at that time. And Pickering had one bad hole on that course, and one bad hole where he was down, and every other hole he was up. I don't see a flaw with Pickering winning that award as much as I don't see him winning it next year.
Yeah, to me, he's not a good pick to win it.
I don't think Thompson's going to win. I think he's the least likely to win it.
Exactly. I think Madal has a chance.
I think Madal definitely has. You know what? If he doesn't say some really, really awful bull on the 7th green of Lakeview Classic, I think he would have won it last year.
That's fair. That's a good point.
But he did say some terrible things, and we caught that with our mics.
Got the mics, yeah.
And you know what? And that lost the Lakeview Classic for him and his partner.
Got another shot here.
But I think if he cuts out the
aforementioned bull,
the non-believer, just that give up,
negative stigma.
negative stigma. he could have a very good shot at winning the Team of the Year award.
And honestly, I do think Ryder has a good chance if he plays.
Oh, I'd love to see.
Ryder's a great guy to play with.
He's just a great guy to play.
Yeah.
Every single guy we've talked about loves to play with Ryder Stone.
He's a calming influence. He's playing some big games in other sports, so
Yeah.
we'll see. All right, so then, predictions for most improved.
Ryder Stone.
Ryder Stone, 100%.
He plays the major. He's going to get my vote.
Can you imagine if Ryder Stone? Now, hear me out. Ryder Stone, accurate at Crystal Ridge Golf Course with the driver. That guy, I tell you, he might win the Open with that driver in hand. His strength, nobody's close to it. If he's able to find accuracy with that club, 100% could win the Open. 100% will win the most improved award. So we have 10 seconds on the next shot. I'm gonna die.
The thing is, he just needs to play because of how poorly he showed in his only previous major. All he needs, really, he just needs to show up and be 0.1% better, and I'll be like, wow.
Yeah, exactly. We got our shot. Yeah, that is beer 5. Let's move on to beer 6.
Yeah, thank you. I'll grab one. Thank you.
Yes. Stone though, 100%.
I would just love to see his competitiveness on a course this year. And you know what? It's mostly out of his control. We understand the circumstances that surround him. At some point, I do believe I see the FGA getting an away tournament, possibly within northeastern USA. That would be very, very exciting. And that is, again, like we talked about, what's so exciting about a potential away tournament. And actually, that opens the door for multiple potential away tournaments in any month, any season, as long as they fall within, the 8 months ish.
The process happens. Yeah, we got another shot. Whew. Oh my goodness. Oh.
Anyways, so we're on the same board with that.
We have 2 more. We have 2 more shots.
We gotta go through these awards.
That's true. We just have 2 more shots. Okay.
Hiccups.
So, I would say Ryder Stone's great and improve. Walking Khaki Guy Award for most clutch player, Cutter Thompson. Took it home this season with he made some great shots. I think the Open was what solidified that Open for that trophy.
I think that was pretty wide open before the
Open. Yeah, there were some great shots made all season, but most clutch player, it's tough to say. You never know who's going to step up and hit a phenomenal shot. For some reason, there's a thing in me that says Cole Medall has that ability to hit just an incredible shot. And so it's just going to be a hunch pick. I'm going to say Cole Medall.
I know the reason why is because of the second unofficial year of FGA.
One more shot over there.
He hit that putt within an inch. Everyone thought it was in.
9. Yeah,
that was what, a 25, 30-foot putt?
Oh, close to 40. That was an absolutely brilliant putt from Medall.
It was an amazing putt.
Incredible.
Within an inch for the tap in.
For a
we
bird.
Know the Thompson flub, and it was easy.
Oh yeah.
No, I believe that was it was almost for the bird, but it was a par. It was a par eventually. Easy par. And when you have somebody who's off the green to start with,
you know that easy par.
And then they won the Lakeview Classic before it was officially dubbed the Lakeview Classic, mind you. But I agree with that pick. I think another potential dark horse. Don't stomp on me too early. Is Pickering? I think he might be back with a bit of a vengeance. I think after getting on the right foot with McCall Masters, he was upset with his performance at Lakeview.
Yeah, and actually that's
set with his performance at the Open.
That's a great pick because in my view, honestly, looking at a guy on a chipping green, I've never seen somebody chip the ball the way he does. He has a sublime ability to find the hole
Well, here's the thing. If you ask me, it's you watch his stance, and it's a fluke ability to me. He
It's not textbook. There's
he
no
chips
question.
the ball like nobody who actually really chips the ball does.
Yeah.
He opens his stance and he pushes it. He puts his feet towards the hole, which is not recommended. Anyone at home,
Don't copy Pickering.
Don't.
However, he makes it work. He makes it work.
It has worked on a few occasions. It's also failed on a few occasions. It's all he can hope for.
Exactly. And this is
Shot.
our last shot of the Power Hour podcast. We are done. We are done.
We're going to wrap up our awards
Predictions
predictions,
for
but we're done our Power
drinking.
Hour. I'm loaded.
I am so... I can't even talk. Okay, let's go with the next award. There's still some in this. We have the Good Loser Award. Most sportsmanlike. Jonah Brown-Hosian took the title last season.
I don't see how he's going to lose it.
No, I can see him winning that completely. The guy's got an unbelievable attitude
Pickering,
on the course.
Thompson both have
Psychos. They're psychos.
They just say things that you just have to vote against them. It doesn't matter who it is, but you have to vote against them.
They say things you're like, you say that online playing Call of Duty.
And
You
here's
don't
the thing:
say that on the golf
Nadal
course.
would have been considered for this award if not for his comments on seven
Seven
at
at Lakeview
Lakeview
Classic. That
Classic.
cost him a lot of moments. And
lot.
to be fair, he also got investigated early in the year about the whole Dragon Head.
So
Dragon's Head thing,
there's some questions surrounding Cole Nadal. His integrity really is at stake.
Oh, he's. I'm not going to go further than that. But all right, Fancy Boy Award. So actually, no prediction for Good Loser Award. Yeah, Brown Hosian for me. I'm going to say he repeats.
I think Stone could press if he isn't tested. If you know what I mean.
Yeah.
If Ryder Stone isn't, if he involves himself in the league this year, if he isn't pressed and prodded by an opponent, I think he could potentially be around here. But also, you're right. Stone has too much of a competitive drive.
Yeah.
And that's not a problem. That's not a problem.
Not a problem at all.
I think Brown Hosian is just too apathetic. I think he's pathetic.
Oh my. Yeah, you believe that, eh?
He'll take home the Good Loser Award.
That's also my pick, but I don't know. I think that was a suspect comment, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Well, I'll be honest. I'm hammered.
I feel like I'm gonna puke. Fancy Boy Award, the best tournament outfit. This year went to Connor Thompson, as voted upon by the members. Thompson, very well known for wearing very flamboyant, colorful outfits.
Thompson ends up taking home that award. That's a toss-up to me. That's a toss-up.
Yeah, it's between Pickering and Thompson. Actually, you know what? Also, Coleman Hall at the Lakeview Classic this year, hat he wore
looked good.
Incredible.
His sweatpants, I believe.
It wasn't the lower body portion wasn't covered terrifically, but
what ruined his chances. But
who knows? He's a dark horse.
Pickering with the orange shirt, orange glove.
It's a little Charlie Hoffman-esque with the green glove. I really liked what Pickering did on the course with his outfits tonight, or this season. It's going to be fun to watch. I'm excited about, actually, you know what? That choice I'm the most excited about, because I think there are some terrific outfits.
Anyone can go ahead and decide that they want to go for that award at any point.
Yeah, exactly. It's so exciting. FGA Fantasy Player of the Year. We talked about this earlier. Joel Pickering won it with just an absolute dominance.
It wasn't close.
It's honestly,
three straight wins in the first three majors. It was over before the PGA Championship.
Fantasy golf. Who thought? Who in God's name knows what's going to happen? So I'm going to say You. Honestly. You. That's absolutely bull. FGA Fantasy Player of the Year. It's a toss-up. I'm going to say Brownhosian gets this one. I just feel like I have a hunch that he gets the job done. And that's the rest of the FGA. What's your prediction for Fantasy Player of the Year?
Absolute toss-up. Thompson obviously pays the most attention to the other league, but I think that actually goes against him. I'm going to say I would actually have to agree. Brownhosian has some decent picks this year.
Yeah, some shockers that really worked out for him.
But he just couldn't quite get it done. I think that Brownhosian, as long as he sticks to his process, he gets the job done.
I agree with that 100%. And, well, I think, honestly, that closes up what has been an absolutely terrific.
We are so excited to attend the winter meetings.
Yes.
And see what the co-commissioners have cooked up for the next year and see any amendments that need to be made.
Yeah.
We know there will be some. And I'm hoping that all the GMs will be available and ready to sign on and get ready for this next year.
Yeah, I'm so happy to be part here.
There's nowhere but up.
Even though the contract disputes have been chaotic, honestly, this is...
I'd love to get back in the studio.
Yeah, we're in Edmonton, and this is in the studio, even though I said that, I think, at the start of the podcast. But at the end of the day, this has been another great podcast. We're so thankful to our listeners who've stepped in again, and I can't wait to do another one. The winter meetings, of course, happening this December. And once again, thank you so much for listening to another FGA podcast.
Congrats.
Happy New Year.
No, I heard you're pregnant.
No. Oh, my man.
Bumble.
She's taking me to the Bumble.
You'll be taking her to Planned Parenthood.
Better than taking her to the infirmary for giving birth to my child. What song is this, by the way?
Yeah, I don't care.
The FGA just supplied us with it. I don't know. I feel like it'd be a depressing song, but...
Why do they give us alcohol before this podcast?
What do we pay for?
We paid for it.
They gave it to us so they could pay up. So we paid up.
My career.
What is this? I hate this so much.
Honestly, you don't shut up. You don't shut up. Let me talk.
Annika and I have been sleeping together for weeks.
I hope so.
She's brilliant.
I'm gonna
I
get the kids in the
I don't blame you for marrying that woman. That woman is what every man hopes for. That is a special person.
Been there, done
Not
that.
a special.
Been there, done that. She's special. All right.
Also, I did go to Harvard. I don't know why you keep saying that.
Hey, Skeet! Harvard of the South.
Oh, that one. I don't know what you just...
No, I know you were a special student. You went to the Harvard of the South.
One of those racist
One of the
hosts.
most special students they ever had.
Your predictions tonight were absolute trash.
I almost completely agreed with you. We had the same predictions.
Not fully, though.
You're maybe the worst person to live with in this Honda.
We all get horny sometimes, though, right?